Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Hiroki. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Dare to make war, we surrender. Falsehood, important news are
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework planet. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday for May 19th, 2021. Today we're doing something we have never done before in DS9 Wednesday history. We have a co-host.
Hello.
Welcome, Commodore Ty.
Hey, everyone. How's it all going?
And Commodore, I believe you have an update for us on Anti-Tracker?
Yes. According to the message left on Life of Matthew's Discord, he's at a surgery and everything went well.
Excellent news. We're all thrilled to hear Anti-Tracker is doing well. Out of surgery, he has now officially become Mrs. Anti-Tracker, and I assume it's now a legal woman marriage as recognized by the state of Tennessee.
Oh boy.
I think that was the operation. You know, HIPAA laws. I'm not sure if I can disclose the full
Matthew
details.
laughs and is disgusted at the same time.
Oh, they're like with Matthew, who I believe Anti-Tracker named you as his next of kin in case of anything. You now have taken possession of the what was the technical term? The package, the bone that he's going to send to Sassy.
The man horn?
The man horn, the human horn. He has taken possession of the human horn. We are going to give to Sassy as a play toy. So anytime you're ready to send that on, Life with Matthew, that would be awesome. Bravo phrases, not in this house. I didn't think Bravo Frey knew what human horn was. She figured it out. 47 Yorktowns says, hello, young sir. Tell John Araki I survived. John Araki, 47 Yorktown, survived. Richie Poole says first. Oh, not first. Welcome, Richie. Josh reads his Bird of Prey is 24 hours late to his own stream. I don't think so. John DeMarco says today's forecast for Cardassia Cloudy with a
Uh,
chance of locusts. Locusts.
Oh yeah.
John Street says, remember, if you want, I will skip all your comments. Oh, pray 5 to not skip your comment. Make sure you put at Berto Pray 5 so the Berto Pray 5 will read your comments before and while Berto Pray is watching the episode. And I will ask Commodore Ty if I miss any with at Berto Pray 5 or at Commodore Ty in it to please go ahead and read them if you do notice them.
Yep, will do.
Qapla, Catman, D.D. Myers, Qapla, Josh Street, Qapla, John DeMarco. Josh Street says, at the end of DS9, when the Dominion started to fire on Cardassia, didn't they use clones of Berto Prey 5 and told him to land on the planet? I don't believe that was it. John DeMarco says, no wonder the attack was so devastating. And Dee says he believes that is true. You know what? Maybe when I rewatch it, I'll remember. I just don't remember. And if I do, that did happen, I feel like I'm owed some type of royalty checks. Yeah. John Street says, remember to have those bird screening room bookmarked so you can watch along with Bird of Prey only while Bird of Prey is streaming the episode or movie at https://www.birdofprey5.com/SR. And yes, as is usual, the address is also at the bottom of the YouTube video. If you want to go to that in a separate tab or a separate browser or a separate device, you can watch the episode along with us. Or if you have your own copy of the episode on DVD or via Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Netflix, or Paramount Plus, it's Deep Space Nine, Season 5, Episode 10, Rapture. That's the episode for today.
Good episode. Good episode.
Yeah, I agree. Better than last week's, which was Ascent. And
Ascent was a decent one. It does build the chemistry of Quark and Odo, but it's not one that I click on often to watch.
I understand. Yeah. Josh Reed says, so the locust was Sisko warning about wasn't the Dominion, it was clones of Bird of Prey 5 that would try to land on Bajor if Bajor joins the Federation. No, I don't think that's what it was. Not Ryan Johnson. Bird of Prey is late. Bird of Prey 5X wasn't late. Must be two different birds. Yes, for those who don't know, I did a short stream today playing Warzone on the Bird of Prey 5X channel. And I died very quickly every single time. John DeMarco says, yes, crashing Bird of Prey clones are far more destructive than even the Dominion. D.D. Myers says, hashtag Bird of Prey 5 clone lives matter. Okay. And then it jumped on me. John Street says, that Ryan Johnson, that wasn't Bird of Prey 5 on the Bird of Prey 5 Triple X channel. It was just one of the many clones Bird of Prey 5 that Bird is locked up in his basements. That's fake news. D.D. Myers says, Bird of Prey, Qapla on all the powerful ruler and of our fear country. How's the fam doing in such a glorious day? Family is doing okay. I am still recovering. In fact, it's a tough day. Norman Buckwald, Qapla yells locusts. Qapla, Norman. Qapla, Mike Richards. LDG of Geeks and Joy says, "What's up, Qapla LDG?" Josh Street says, "Beware the clone. Beware the clone fleet of Bird of Prey 5. If you get on the hit list of Kuroga, your planet will end up looking like Cardassia Prime." And there's Life with Matthew. Qapla, Life with Matthew. Dee Dee says, "So his sex change went through with flying colors." Life with Matthew says, "I think there might be a few people in line ahead of me for the human horn."
But he gave you the power to tell us what's happening, so clearly you're first in line. There might be other people that think they're ahead of line, but for AT, you're number one.
Yeah, I'd agree. Dee Dee says, "Anti-trigger has no use for it anymore." I agree. Life with Matthew says, "Mamo prays a smart lady not getting past her." John Street says, "Bird of Prey, you mean Theon Greyjoy's favorite toy?" Yes. Yes. And Josh Street puts a link to the screening room. Thank you. Again, Norman says, "First episode with the new uniforms," which brings into question, is this the first episode with the new uniforms?
I can confirm because I just checked it as you were talking on the online, on the various streaming sites. If you put in the Ascent, they're wearing the old, like just the uniforms with the color on top. This one, you see them wearing the gray top with the color underneath.
Interesting. So I guess there must have been a pretty delay between when this one aired and last week aired the end of November. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one aired in January.
Or whenever they did air it, it was like, it's interesting though that they introduce a new uniform change in the middle of a season. Usually that happens at the beginning or the end of a season. Oh, okay. Josh Street says this is the first episode after the movie First Contact.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If First Contact came out in December, this would probably be a January or February
so they probably had a
episode.
Like a Christmas break or winter break, I guess.
Yeah, they often did. Like a winter break. It's a shame. If I had been doing this on the regular screen, then I would have gone to Wikipedia and looked up the date it aired and stuff.
I can do that right now.
If you wouldn't mind. Because I normally would put that in the ticker.
Yep, let me just go to. So this is season 5.
Season 5, episode 10.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, December 30th.
Oh,
according to John DeMarco.
I'm just verifying.
Well, that's about a month between this episode and the last episode.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's weird. That was some break.
Yeah, because you went from November 25th to December 30th between the two episodes. So, yeah, there's a little over a month break. So they probably took the time off for the movie so the movie can get the attention and then come back to this.
Okay, guys. So we're going to get started here in a minute. Just a heads up. I am not going to be doing the credits I'm sorry. And I'm not going to be doing necessarily the play-by-play today because I can't. But me and Commodore Ty, anything of interest, Commodore, by all means, please, whatever you want to talk about, please feel free to do so. Anybody has something you want us to say, please put at BirdoPrey5 or at Commodore Ty
Wow.
in the chat.
Wow. That's interesting. That Josh Street says First Contact came out November 22nd. Then we had Ascent, which was November 25th, and they were wearing the old uniform. So I'm guessing they were in transition at the time. That's why we might have seen the old uniform still.
Yeah, well, obviously, Ascent was probably filmed before
prior to
First Contact got released.
Well, Ascent could have been. Well, they probably were filming roughly around the same time.
I mean, in those days, I'd imagine First Contact probably finished filming weeks before it was actually released.
Yeah. And hello to the Boreal life form. Keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, Qapla nerd Boreal life form. And Norman Buchwald says, warning, Kai Wynn will grace the screen at times during this episode, so be prepared. Absolutely.
Yeah, we know.
Somebody you love to hate.
Ugh.
Okay, so head over to the screening room. I'm going to hit play. Aravic Sonder with a $1 super chat. Thank you, Aravic Sonder. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, so head over to the screening room. I'm going to do my countdown. I'm going to hit play. And then in the screen, the YouTube screen, you'll get a screenshot every 10 seconds or so. Josh Reed says, Bird of Prey, I still find it funny how the EMH got into First Contact. I thought it was well done. I mean, it made sense because he was supposed to being used on all starships, so it made total sense.
At the time. It was a standard upgrade to all Federation starships. So, seeing him in there, especially on the Federation flagship, you kind of expect it.
It did kind of suck that
the San Paulo might have had a EMH, for all we know, and the Defiant might have had an EMH.
Well, except that they said that the Defiant's sick bay barely counted as a sick bay, or its medical facilities were.
Yes, even though the facilities might not have been good, they probably still had the program just in case. Because what if the doctor gets knocked out on the ship?
I suppose, but then we never saw it, so I think we can safely say that it wasn't there.
Yeah, we never see a lot of things, but you never know. It could be retconned in the new season of Lower Decks, for all we know.
Could be. It is kind of just sad that we got both Janeway and the Doctor from Voyager in the Next Gen movie, but we never got, well, a DS9 character other than Worf, who was, by all rights, a TNG character.
Yeah, it was a TNG turned DS9 going back to TNG.
Right. So we did get the Defiant.
I understand, John, that it is doubtful that the Defiant did have an EMH, but I'm just saying it would be beneficial for the Defiant class to have an EMH.
I guess that would make First Contact like the movie that brought most things together. I mean, even more so than Generations, in that you had DS9, TNG, and Voyager.
I think that's what they were missing.
Represented in that one movie.
Yeah, I think that's what they were missing during the time period. If they made one of the movies and included all of them, it would have been, like everyone says, epic.
Oh. Okay, so now I'm going to really start the episode. We're going to count down, and it will load, and then I will hit play.
With which EMH would be on Deep Space Nine, because there's no reference to one. Well, because Deep Space Nine was technically a Cardassian / Bajoran space station, it might not have been compatible to hold an EMH program.
Well, except that they put in the stuff to make one
They put in
during
the
the
stuff
episode
after the fact, but prior to that, they probably didn't
when
have
they
one.
were working with the Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
By all rights, the Mark II should have been installed. And maybe it was. Who knows?
We could have found out,
After
or it
DS9
could have been a
ended.
Mark III or IV, because after the episode where they introduced the Prometheus, the Doctor goes back again a while later to take care of his creator, and he says, "I've been checked by all the greatest. I've been checked by all the EMH Mark IIIs and IVs."
Qapla, Mako, and Admiral Saval, and William Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Hey, William Jackson. But talking about the EMH, we could have a whole live stream or a whole conversation about which EMH was on which ship and everything.
Right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Load that sucker up. Come on. Come on. Yes.
There it goes.
The city of Valhalla.
Beautiful pink. And Dax not impressed. Should have been bigger.
It's the most important Bajoran icon ever.
It's the only proof we have of this city.
They built it up too much. Like Independence Day.
I think any artifact from a lost city is important, no matter how big or small it would have been. Just having evidence of said city is enough.
I'm surprised Sisko cares about the painting.
Mm-hmm. And even on this painting, you can see the reef in the water.
Yeah. Like, how did nobody notice the water?
Like, with a few seconds it was on screen, I already saw it. Like, boom, it's there. There's writing.
At least one. You mean just take a picture of it?
Scan it. Like what we do nowadays, scan it into the computer, make a digital copy. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion in this episode about faith, John. And so far, the leader of the Bajorans, the Kai Wynn, poo-poos on it because things.
Josh Street says, Bashir's LMH, where would one fall in the MH line if it got finished? Mach 2.
I think it would have been branched off into its own line of medical holograms, because you would have the emergency EMH, which would probably be mainly used on ships, and then you'd have the long-term medical hologram, which would probably be used on stations or on frontier stations where there wouldn't be as much supplies available to them. So I think it would diverge the two. Like, one would be the EMH would be used on ships, and the LMH would be used on space stations and outposts.
I thought they were specifically said that it was an EMH they were making, but honestly, I don't remember it that close. Oh, reverse and enhance. That's all you had to do.
Yeah. And Life of Matthew did point it out. To be fair, yes, the reflection was unreadable, but modern, even computers nowadays could probably have made something about it. People would have been able to do something with it. Yeah, maybe. But why wouldn't
Pleasure mazes. And if it wasn't for that, this never would have happened.
So, if you got an electric shock, you would have been able to see the ability to figure out where the hell it was.
Probably. But maybe I wouldn't have gotten an electric shock if I wasn't touched by the prophets.
Mm.
Dun 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 dun. God
I like
damn, it's a hard habit to break.
Yeah.
Dun dun. It's nice to just enjoy the opening one for once.
I love the opening. It's I need to do it. Oh.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Do 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. You know, fun fact. Before high definition and stuff,
Yeah.
watched back in like early 2000s, late 90s, I honestly thought those the pieces were like you see the little men pushing the pieces and working on outside. I thought it was just wires. I just realized that like a year or so ago that holy crap, those were people out there in spacesuits working on it.
William Jackson agrees it has everything to do with him being the emissary.
Mm-hmm. And Odo doesn't believe him. It was an accident. Oh wow! Throwing Chief O'Brien under the bus.
Thank you, Life with Matthew, who just donated $1. And he says, can you believe those fools? John, Jeff, Thomas thought I was buying them each a PS5. No, I'm going to tell them I'm doing a week-long stream of me playing Echo. Haha.
Oh wow! Add another article, boys. The true villainy of Matthew comes out.
Thank you for the $1 donation, Life with Matthew.
Throwing Chief under the bus sounds like something Bird of Prey 5 would do. If you were in court shoes, would you have thrown Chief O'Brien under the bus?
Never throw Chief O'Brien under the bus. He's the most important person in Starfleet history.
Oh, so they're at dinner. We find out Cassidy was in prison for 6 months or 9 months.
That's right. It's the episode where Cassidy comes back.
Yeah.
Last time we saw her, she was arrested.
Mm-hmm. And Sisko's playing with his food.
This means something.
Sisko, yeah. Makes a little monster. Doesn't it look like just a monster's face?
It looks like an outlet cover to me. Admiral, why don't you have your new uniform?
Well, I think they were still in transition. Yeah, Norman. I think Sisko should have gone for a second medical treatment or interpretation because even though Bashir is medically enhanced, genetically enhanced, he does miss a lot of diagnosis. And he shows the Klingon banner. Yeah, he has the right one after that. But it's funny that he has a Klingon banner ready. I guess he had one ready for all of them. And greetings, the Random Menace. How's the future? Got the winning lotto numbers? John DeMarco says the new Admiral uniforms don't show up until next season, so season 6. And Norman says this Admiral was okay. Yeah, it was this Admiral was an interesting Admiral, which I think would have helped if he was in more episodes. But Norman believes it should have been Admiral Ross, which would have added an extra layer of like character development between him and Sisko if he was introduced in this episode.
Next week is The Darkness and the Light.
Oh,
the
one of the
episode
worst
where
episodes.
the guy abducts Kira,
And kills all her
kills all her
terrorist
resistance buddies.
one of the worst episodes.
I don't think it's a terrible episode. It's a dark
For
episode.
Deep Space Nine episodes, it's not a good one. In Deep Space Nine, they're talking more and more. I guess they're talking about the discovery of the city. He's just in a zoned out state. Yep, completely zoned out.
He was with the prophets.
So he's talking about his discovery, telling Kira about everything.
You could see the future.
Somebody woke me up. Weird line to say. Oh, great. Kai wins. Everyone's favorite.
Why does it take 2 hours to get to the station? I mean, it seemed like they were not all that far when they moved it that first day.
Who knows? Maybe where Bajor isn't considered in when it's
That's
moving around the
true.
sun, where it is.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess the wormhole
But
probably doesn't orbit this Bajoran sun.
the also fact is that when they have the enemy fleets come into the system, it's like what 20 minutes away, and then they're there. Norman, for once, no reflection of a headache at mention of her name. He must really be in the visions. Yeah. Hello, Dan23, and hello, Cinnabon Bunny. Yeah, plot holes, Josh. But that's what I do. I go deep into this. Still there. And Cassidy Yates comes in. And he doesn't even realize. He's happy to see her. Greets her with a big smooch. What you're doing for the next few hours? And he heads to Bajor. And he's thinks he's found it. So he's going to drag Cassidy with him. To be honest, I think if anyone, I would ask Kira to come with me. They most missed each other. Wow. They take the runabout. Another continuity gaffe. It's like, pick a time it takes from you to get to the station to Bajor. Pick a
Well,
time.
this runabout could probably go warp. It's possible the Bajoran shuttle was sublight. I don't know.
You think, do the Bajorans even have warp technology? Because every time we see a Bajoran ship, They're always sublight.
Well, considering they were flying 800 years before the Earth people were, I would think they would, but who knows? That's a good question. Cinnabon is watching while sitting on a space station. That's an
But-
interesting trick.
Yeah. John has the same feelings I do, that the Bajorans, he doesn't think that the Bajorans have warp-capable ships. Then
If the Bajorans don't have warp, they can't join the Federation.
Well, they probably have other technology. Maybe they just choose not to develop warp drive. But they got everything else, like communications and everything.
What setting is that on the phaser?
Tunnel building setting.
Drill?
Drill setting, yeah, it's the drill setting. And he found it. He found it. There's the spire. He found it.
Life with Matthew says, what's behind the wall? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And now Worf and Odo are arguing about who gets what. Talking about naval tradition. And Kira's head's in the clouds. Worf says, because Worf does believe in the visions as well, so Worf looks at the faith aspect, whereas Odo's just like, it's a crapshoot. He got lucky.
Josh Street says, Bird of Prey. In the episode in the war where the Romulans wanted to put weapons in the hospital on the moon, didn't Kira have 30 impulse and a few warp 2 ships?
Well,
I remember the impulse ships.
I knew they were they were impulse ships, but they were saying that they were no match for a Romulan warbird. That was for sure. They made that obviously clear in that episode. Also, Norman says Bajor didn't have warp-capable ships in Ensign Row, which is the episode where Ensign Row debuts. But those were the Bajoran refugees and may be related to the Cardassian occupation, which was still happening at the time. Even then, but after the fact, like during all of Deep Space Nine, they don't show a warp-capable Bajoran ship. Kira and Kai.
Get ready for a talking down, Kira.
I never find that she talks down to Kira. I think Kira just tells her to go suck one and leave. She doesn't take her crap. She just tolerates her. Because she believes in her faith and her religion. And unfortunately, she's the head of head of that religion, so by de facto, she has to follow her, show some respect to her, but Kira doesn't give two shits about her.
Walk with the prophets. Walk with the prophets. Wasn't that a Bengals song?
Yes, Ryan. Good Good seeing you, Ryan. I don't think I've seen you on the channel before, so welcome.
Qapla, Ryan.
Solar sails were warp capable, but only under certain situations. It wasn't like a sustained
I-
warp.
I don't know. I'd call them warp capable. I'd say they were faster than light capable. Warp is
Well,
a specific technology.
warp 1 is technically just the speed of light, so yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you're on desk duty.
I think this a good speech from Wynn, really? And Norman says, yeah, it's almost hard to reconcile Kai in this
Reconcile.
reconcile Kai in this episode and Kai at the end of the series, but it works so well for this episode.
Mm,
Cinnabon Bunny believes that Bajorans don't believe in warp.
that could be true.
Well, that is a possibility, but I still think they could have the technology. I think they just don't. They put it towards putting their planet back together after 75 years of Cardassian or 60 years of Cardassian occupation.
Bajorans believe in the flat universe theory.
Mm.
Oh wait, I do too.
I think if Deep Space Nine went to season 8, we might see Bajoran warp vessels or Bajorans being more participant because they know how to operate Starfleet vessels and everything because we've seen. Mm. Okay. So you think they're a bunch of Bobby Boucher mothers, Cinnabon Bunny? They think dilithium is the devil. Starfleet is the military when Starfleet wants to be in the military. That's how I see it as. We're getting some medical mumbo jumbo from Dr. Bashir. Talking to the Admiral about it.
Do a lobotomy.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're talking about. And here he comes. He's upset that Ben became the emissary, but it's like Bashir's right. Even if he says he wasn't, they believe he is.
Oh, does he tell somebody to go home? You don't belong here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey,
And
not
he's
you,
hit with
lady.
another-
You stay.
And he's hit with something else now. Oh, and the admiral's like, "What the hell just happened?" Just the dumbfounded look on his face is like, he did like. I wish, like I said at the beginning, I wish we saw this admiral more often, because I think him and Cisco would have had a good, like, professional relationship, and this would have been a good stepping stone for it. But also, I agree with who wrote it in the chat that Admiral Ross would have also been a great time to introduce him. Would have added another layer to their uh, ongoing relationship. Hmm. Dan23 makes a good point. In Deep Space Nine Season 2 Alternative, one of the Bajoran science probes recently scanned a planet about 6 light years from the wormhole. If the probe only had impulse, it would take a long time to go anywhere. Well, if you launch the probe, and they never said when they launched the probe. Bashir's telling him about the procedure that can make him normal again. And Ben says, "Nope, don't do it." So he's risking his life for this, to keep these visions. Jake's upset with that.
In the 50 years you wait around for me to get out of subspace.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't have that anymore. Remember, that was changed during that episode. But we've seen Cisco always put his own life in jeopardy for these visions or figuring out what the hell's happening.
Jake, she's your new mother.
Mm-hmm.
Cassidy, you will become the second wife.
Yeah, no kidding.
Random Bennett says he just found out picture in picture works in the screening room also.
Oh, cool. Hmm.
Faith of the heart.
And now she's complained that why can't I have the visions? Because you're two-timing snot-nosed punk. That's what Kai Wynn is. I'm trying to.
Do we know which orb that is? Not yet.
No. Oh, talking about
Oh, the
orbs.
orb of the prophecy.
Yeah. Talking about orbs and stuff. I was watching old episodes of Question of Trek, and I think I came across one. And one of the questions was, which ancient relic tossed the Defiant back in back in time in the episode Trials and Tribulations, and people were having a hard time on that one.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, but
It was
they
the
had a
orb of
hard.
time, but we didn't
Yeah,
know that at the time.
we didn't know it at the time, but it was the orb. We picked there to pick up an orb. So happened to this be the one, the orb of time, but we didn't know it at the time. Okay, so there's the meeting with all the high-ranking admirals and top Bajorans. It's interesting that you see a lot of. It's all majority of them are the religious people. Why wouldn't they be talking to the government officials? So are the Vedics and the Kai more important than the ministers?
John DeMarco says it was the orb of the 30th anniversary tribute.
Yeah. Look at all that brass. Here comes Ben, crazed out of his mind. Locust. Foreshadow. And Ben is convulsing at the end of it. There he is in sick bay. Which is Jake. And so it's up to Jake. And he goes and He tries to save his. I think that's a lot of pressure to put on a teenager.
Only one in that room
Uh,
besides Sisko who would say no is Kira.
yeah,
Everyone else would do it.
yeah. Josh Street asks a great question. What happened to the time orb? It probably is in some monastery on Bajor. Because Josh Street then says, why didn't they use the orb of time and go back to before the minefield was taken offline and stop the station from firing on the mines? Plot hole. Because of plot. They couldn't do it like that. Mhm. She says Jake was being selfish for not letting his father die. Wow. Like every time she opens her mouth, you just want to slap her, don't you? Mhm. And here's Sisko waking up from surgery, and he's pissed. He's like, "No, the visions are gone." He almost understood everything. Like what? What was everything? Meaning of life? And here he is, looking at the picture of the ancient city again. Here comes the admiral. So he feels right that, well, he ends up being proven right next season. Mm-hmm. That would be true. He wishes things turned out differently, of course, but he was right. It was too soon. Yes, Dan23, Kira did use the Orb of Time in the season 6 episode Wrong.
Hello, Sci-Fi Nation.
Hello, Sci-Fi Nation.
Qapla
And
Dan and Dr. Alex.
yeah. And now he's talking to Cassidy. He looks kind of upset that Jake took his visions. She is definitely acting like a stepmother in this episode.
And straight from prison, too.
Yeah. John DeMarco says the thing Sisko could have understood is the proper placement of his comm badge. Yeah, possibly. Josh Street is shocked that the Federation time cop didn't take the orb of time. Well, it was a religious object for the Bajoran, so and it belonged
Section
to
31 could have taken it and replaced it with a
dummy one.
Yeah.
Well, at the time, they probably didn't think of it as a threat to the Federation. Dan 23 says
Dan, the video's over. The episode's over, so there's no more buffering.
Yeah.
Thank you, Commodore. Yes,
no
so
problem.
that was Rapture. And yeah, it was a good episode. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it adds to Sisko's character, Jake's character, Kira's character, and the conflict between Kira and Wynn, foreshadowing of futures of the end of this season, beginning of next season. So there's a lot in this episode.
Josh Reed says, since you have a co-host, we can watch the next episode and you can sleep. No, Josh Street, we can't. I didn't get it ready. I didn't get anything set up. And Cinnabon says they don't need the orb. They have Klingon time crystals.
Yeah, they just have to go. Yeah, we don't bring up that. Oh, you mean the time stone spoofs that they use? Yes, Norman, this was a great episode. And like I mentioned, a lot of stuff did happen. Like we got foreshadowing, conflict building, character development, progression in the plot. So much. 9 out of 10. Wow. Close to a 10. Nice. I would give this episode maybe an 8 out of 10. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think 8 is closer.
Yeah, because there are some episodes like later in the season and early season 6 that I would put above this episode, but I would definitely put this episode in my top ranked of episodes.
And thank you, John DeMarco. I hope I get better as well.
Mm-hmm. We're all hoping you get better, Bird.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so everyone seems to be in agreement that this was a good episode, good to great episode.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you all for coming and hanging out. Commodore Ty, thank you for assisting today.
No problem.
I think that we'll call it a day here for Star Trek Deep Space Nine Rapture. And tomorrow, I hopefully can do another open line stream, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. So
just put my link in the channel for anyone that wants to see
do.
more commentary by me.
And you have a link for tips and whatnot?
Eventually.
Oh, okay. So with that, guys, thank you all. Qapla, Bird, and Panel out. Oh shit! I got to change over to the other brand to run the after credits roll. Okay, Qapla. But
Sure.
wait, there's more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdopray5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Bird O' Prey 5 needs. At the main Bird O' Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Bird O' Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Bird O' Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Kuroga.